Hey, this podcast holds nothing sacred. This is Life, Tech, and Sundry. And what is Sundry? It's our experiences put in a melting pot to the internet. So join us on this wild ride called the LTS Podcast. Follow us at LT Sundry on Twitter, LTS.pod on Instagram, Life, Tech, and Sundry on YouTube, and all your favorite podcast distribution services. Stay frosty.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this episode of LTS Out of Office. My name is Marcos Lopez, and I want to share this episode to all the book readers out there. This was inspired because one of my coworkers was telling me, obviously, his upbringing was different, but he's interested in expanding his horizons in literature. So I created a tight 5 monumental, seminal books that I would highly recommend it to him. Let's see if you agree with me or if you have any more ideas. So with that in mind and that premise shared to you, let's begin again. If you want to leave a comment, links in the description wherever you listen to this podcast. Remember, we're on Apple Podcast, Spotify, YouTube Music, YouTube videos itself, so anywhere, and links for social media like X and Instagram in the description. Everywhere that you are listening to this, and you already know. If you agree with this statement, leave 5 stars or anything else that calls to you, or any more ideas for more books that should get into reading. So let's slide in. Tonight, we're not just venturing into old tales, but stepping onto a path of profound discovery. We'll speak of ancient heroes and looming shadows. Yes, but also of radiant understanding that awaits those brave enough to walk the long road. And everyone that's read these books inspired all that. So I feel like these will be his inspirations for reading. So prepare yourself, for we are about to journey towards the enduring light of Beowulf, a beacon for those ready to truly see. Beowulf, a hero's journey towards enlightenment. Beowulf is more than a name. It's a whisper of courage across centuries, a testament of human spirit's unending quest for meaning. This isn't merely a book, it's an invitation to embark on an intellectual odyssey, a challenge promising profound growth for you, the reader in this case. I know it was for me when I first read it in high school. I think it was in high school that I read it. There's a long distance to travel, yet every step into its depth illuminates your path forward, strengthening your grasp of English and expanding your very capacity for comprehension. Expand your mind. This epic stretches your comprehension, pushing the boundaries of your English skills. It was written in a specific time, and I believe it's always refreshed. But there's something as a new reader that I highly recommend you, just for the concept of language. A timeless wisdom. Dive into a world where ancient struggles echo modern triumphs, revealing the unchanging human condition in ways you'll find surprisingly relevant. Conquer the unseen. Beyond physical monsters, Beowulf grapples with universal fears of moral dilemmas, strengthening your ability to confront life's deepest complexities. Forge inner strength, like Beowulf, facing his foes. Tackling this text builds your mental fortitude, equipping you with new tools to overcome any literary or linguistic obstacle you encounter. If you agree with me, leave a thumbs up or in the comments, leave a little picture of a book opening, of a emoticon, anything that shows expanding your mind kind of thing. Reward of persistence. Understanding Beowulf demands patience and perseverance, but the clarity and expanded perspective gained are treasures truly worth the arduous journey you'll undertake. Trust me, the reading is not friendly. It's not meant to be. Thus, the takeaway at the beginning, it's not understood until you're done reading it and review it with colleagues, friends, classmates. That's why I'm here. If this coworker wants to ask questions, best believe that I'll go in at it again so it can be more of a guide. Your audio guide. Don't let this initial climb deter you. The path is lit. Beowulf audiobook. Let the bard's voice carry you over peaks and through the valleys of this magnificent tale. There's audiobooks apparently. No, not that when I never knew that. So if that helps my coworker to improve his English language or even entices him to find more stories similar to Beowulf, the merrier. But for starters, for me, it's gonna be Beowulf nonetheless. Even if there's movies and all those things, but Beowulf is the one. Next, sliding into the Odyssey, a return to self and wisdom. Odyssey is a story after another historical thing called the Trojan Wars, or the Battle of Troy, and all those things. There's a lot of pop culture things, but I'm getting distracted. From Beowulf's raw might, we turn to another foundational epic. Like I said before, it's a heavy book, and there's a lot of context that needs to be taken on the Odyssey, but one centered on the arduous journey home. Homer's The Odyssey is a saga of resilience, cunning, and the enduring power of connection. Again, that side of the story, this Odyssey is specifically it's about many characters, but it's about the guy, the king of Ithaca. This guy's smart, and the way that he convinced Achilles to go into the Trojan War, that's a whole story on itself. And the way that he has to struggle, all the struggles that he runs through just to get home, and what happens when he gets home, it's just mind-boggling. There's so many stories, movies about this there's a deep well of content that my coworker can pull to understand the Odyssey. It proves true heroism often lives in wit and unwavering resolve. Qualities you'll appreciate and find yourself reflecting on. And wit does not mean that you're gonna be good. You're looking out for yourself sometimes. Heroism, you're gonna look out for others and sacrifice yourself. So it's a balance. I feel like it's a yin and yang, but agree with me, disagree with me? Leave a Trojan helmet or a Roman helmet in the comments. Navigate life's labyrinths. Odysseus, that's a tongue twister. Odysseus' 10-year struggle mirrors the complex paths we navigate, teaching you about perseverance and finding your way through adversity. Power of intellect. Here, cleverness often trumps brute strength. Before the Odyssey, in the Trojan War, there was when Achilles died, his armor was left, right? And people were fighting who was going to be wearing their armor. There was a competition. Obviously, Ajax, who trained alongside Achilles, was the best looking guy to be wearing this armor. Turns out that somebody rigged the rules, aka Odysseus. Let's write a poem, he said. And Odysseus won. Armor. Ajax, because he never lost in his life apparently, killed himself. Thus, that's an epic point in history that the way that men is seen as winners, or way that men win, is no longer by their strength of their shield and their sword, but also by their pen, or their wit, and their words of poetry. And it's, depending who you're reading it from, is seen as a sad day, but also seen as the birth of a new kind of a man. Mind you, Trojan War allegedly lasted 10 years. Odysseus' wit highlights strategic thinking, a skill you'll see vividly demonstrated throughout the Odyssey. Encounter the divine and monstrous. This epic, rich with mythical beings, offers you a fascinating glimpse into ancient beliefs and storytelling. Like I said, this happened during the Trojan War, what I just said earlier about Achilles' armor. The other part that I found interesting was when Odysseus was with his ship and his crewmates heading home. They had to go by a pass where a monster would claim the lives of a certain amount of people in order for them to pass. Turns out Odysseus was just praying it wasn't him. He knew he had to sacrifice people, and they got sacrificed. It just wasn't him. Essence of home. At its heart, the Odyssey meditates on belonging, family, and the extraordinary lengths one goes to return. Themes you'll connect with deeply. If you feel that you're missing home, the Odyssey really clicks with you. From fighting giants to sacrificing crewmates, maybe even friends, to monsters, in order for you to make it home to your wife and your child. Bridge to classical literature. Engaging with this masterpiece provides you essential insight into classical Greek thought and its lasting influence on our world. And there you have it. That's another book aside from Beowulf, The Odyssey. Sliding into Don Quixote, the noble pursuit of untamed ideals. Transitioning from ancient epics, we arrive to the golden age of Spanish literature with Miguel de Cervantes' Don Quixote. The iconic work brilliantly explores the fine line between idealism and delusion, and imagination's extraordinary power to shape our reality. Even when the world resists, chasing giants and windmills, it's a journey you'll find both humorous and profoundly thought-provoking. Chivalry in a changing world. Don Quixote, his commitment to knightly ideals in a post-chivalric era, offers you a humorous, poignant clash of traditions and modernity. Power of narrative. The novel constantly plays with storytelling itself, inviting you, the reader, to reflect on truth, fiction, and how we construct our realities. It's an interactive book kind of thing. I read it in middle school, so it's been a while. It's been a while. Sancho Panza and his pragmatism. The dynamic interplay between Don Quixote's soaring dreams and Sancho Panza's grounded realism explores contrasting worldviews that you'll enjoy dissecting and chatting with your friends. An enduring spirit. Despite failures, Don Quixote, his unbroken spirit, inspires you to pursue passions, even against skepticism or apparent futility, aka taking out that giant even though in reality it's a windmill. Satire with heart. A masterful satire of chivalric romance. Don Quixote is also deeply human, filled with empathy for its characters' noble, if misguided, pursuits, something you'll undoubtedly feel at times. So at our workplace, if you know where I work at a coffee shop in a courthouse, there's a lot of that stuff that, people are going to go through things, and you just have to be there to give them a good cup of coffee, a quick, good cup of coffee. And hopefully this will help anyone that wants to expand their books. Yeah, let's go with another one called 100 Years of Solitude. This is a Spanish book called Cien Años de Soledad. The magic of memory and time. From chivalric dreams, we leap across continents to the vibrant, dreamlike world of magical realism in Gabriel Garcia Marquez's 100 Years of Solitude. This sprawling saga of Buendia family, Good Day family, and mythical Macondo profoundly explores history, memory, and time's cyclical nature, where the extraordinary is simply part of life. 100 Years of Solitude, 100 años de soledad. This will be an utterly unique reading experience for you. It was for me, it was for my mom, it was for I think my middle brother. I don't know about my baby brother, but I can tell you from 2 generations, my mom and myself, we chatting about it for years. The novel masterfully interweaves lives, revealing enduring patterns and repetitions within a family's complex history that you'll find fascinating. Magical realism as a lens. The seamless blend of fantasy and everyday invites you to perceive reality through a unique filter, where miracles and mundane events coexist. Weight of history. Macondo's story subtly reflects broader Latin American history, delving into colonialism, political upheaval, and the search for identity, offering you new perspectives. Power of storytelling. Echoing rich oral traditions, the novel stands as a testament of narrative's ability to preserve memory and create a vivid sense of place, something you'll feel deeply immersed in. Feast for the senses. Garcia Marquez's prose is exquisitely rich and evocative, creating an immersive sensory world that will captivate and transport your imagination. Very imaginative book, and the conversation, all those things, I like it. So that's another book for my coworker to increase his English language. Obviously, it started in Spanish. If he feels comfortable reading it in Spanish, go ahead. Now, for another book. Maybe even the last one? Yeah. It's called, you might have heard it, it's called The Lord of the Rings. Saga of Fellowship and Enduring Hope. Again, this one was inspired because of pop culture, and I know how much of a read this one is. Haven't grabbed the book itself. I know the story. I did read The Hobbit though, not The Lord of the Rings itself. Finally, to complete this journey through literary landscapes, we turn to J.R.R. Tolkien's grand tapestry, The Lord of the Rings. This epic fantasy is not just cornerstone of modern literature, but a profound exploration of courage, sacrifice, and the eternal struggle between light and shadow. It highlights that even the smallest hands can change the world. A powerful message for you. Unparalleled world depth. Tolkien's meticulous world building, languages, mythologies, histories, creates a truly immersive, believable universe for you to explore, to expand upon with context, with conceptions like the elves, like the dwarves, like the hobbits itself. Power of the Fellowship's perilous journey powerfully illustrates strength in unity and the bonds forged when facing overwhelming odds. Lessons you'll carry with you. In the movie, we can observe how Gandalf the Grey can tell that they're being corralled up to the mountains or under the caves. You can tell how during those times of them being corralled, they can, like the elves, can fight, how each one has a different set of skills and how they interact in that set of pressure. When they're being pressured, or why are they still with this friendship and they're honor bound or not honor bound, or the pursuit of adventure. It's exciting. Themes of good versus evil. The clear yet nuanced delineation between good and evil, coupled with characters' internal struggle, provides a timeless narrative of moral choices you can ponder. A hero's journey redefined. While Frodo is an unlikely hero, his reluctant yet determined quest embodies the classic archetype, demonstrating that even the humblest individuals achieve greatness, a truly inspiring thought for everyone, a legacy of influence. The Lord of the Rings profoundly shaped fantasy, literature, film, and pop culture, globally and internally, aka yourself, making it an indispensable read for anyone, especially you, dear listener, interested in an epic storytelling. And so, the stage is set for your grand literature adventure. The path to mastering language, to truly understand the echoes of human experience, stretches long before you. The road is long. But know this, with every line of Beowulf you conquer, with every ancient word that reveals its meaning, you are not just reading, you are growing. You are not just learning, you are becoming. Thank you for listening. This has been Marcos Lopez, and you've been listening to LTS Out of Office, a book menu selection. But yeah, if you're interested in more stories like this, of me telling you what other stories you maybe would like to read or have already read, agree with these ideas of cornerstones for improving maybe English as your second language, maybe as your first language, and you just want to grow more literarily speaking. I don't know if that's even a word, but yeah, if you're interested, let me know. Leave a comment, reach out, and have a nice day. Comments, everything in the description. Love you guys. Stay frosty.